Hey guys, welcome back to Wave Squadron. I'm Aaron.
I'm Calvin.
Rick.
And we are back with the Acolyte, where last time we went hunting for one of the last Jedi that is aware of what happened on Brindok.
Yep.
And,
we didn't get to see a Wookiee lightsaber fight.
We did not. He's
Damn it.
dead.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he had a lightsaber.
Do you
He
think
was sitting down, so we're not even going to get a flashback of that fight.
What if we flash back to the previous
moment
thing and he pulls out a saber then with the witches?
True. That's one thing.
They're not
too.
using lightsabers, so it's not a lightsaber
This
fight.
episode
you're
could
right.
either be going into the Force, where we have a lot of Jedi and a Sith or whatever show up,
Yep.
and then we could also just maybe go back to that night and not see any of that right now, and then we don't get that.
I've been thinking all week about finally I want a lightsaber fight
We might
in the
not.
show.
We might not get it, Eric.
We were so primed for it, Aaron.
We were.
We're so primed
But maybe
for
like,
it.
you know what? Next time. I have no idea.
I love lightsaber fights. I love specific choreography. I love styles, and what we saw of the hand-to-hand fighting in the beginning of the show. I am excited to see that team do a lightsaber fight.
Sure.
Very peculiar. Like I haven't really enjoyed a lightsaber fight for quite some time in canon. So I don't know. I'm excited. I want to see it. I think my favorite in a long time was Vader Obi-Wan.
From episode
That
4?
wasn't- No. Yes,
Obi-Wan.
a very long time, Aaron.
What about Ahsoka Maul?
Ahsoka Maul from 7, man, it's fantastic. But I also, again, I'm weird. Like, I need to be able to like look at a lightsaber fight and be like, oh, this move, you know. And it's so hard to do that with Clone Wars fights. That fight in particular is actually not too bad, but it still has an element of floatiness that's hard to think about replicating. You know?
I do want to ask.
Like, I was a kid. Like, I went home from episode 2 and tried to do Dooku's moves. You know.
I want to ask, because you had to mess up there in that last one.
Yes.
Are you saying you're very peculiar in the way you like fights, or you're very particular in the fights that you like?
I think both are true.
Okay.
I think that I have a very strange standard, and I do not expect anybody to have that standard, which I know is really weird in the fan environment we have right now.
Sure. I mean, I get what you mean, though. Like, even going to, like, the sequel movies, like, the first one didn't have, like, that's the lightsaber fight I love to see and watch, you know? The second one had a little bit more that I was excited for.
Yeah.
And then the third one was okay, but it also was, like, not there
Sure,
either,
I get you.
Palpatine's, like, you know,
I understand.
on his little floating thing.
We could literally talk about this all day, but we have an episode to watch, and
Yeah,
then we'll
but
talk about
you
it
know
all
what?
day.
If there is a cool fight, I delay it more for you.
Yeah.
Well, we had a poll for last week.
Yeah,
as
we
well.
got to delay it a tiny bit more to talk about this poll. What do you think is Qimir's true role within the Sith, if in fact he is a Sith at all? But that was our question.
Sure.
We had 15% of people say neither. They're not either the Master or the Apprentice. 34% said the Master. And an even 50% said that Qimir is the Sith Apprentice.
Either, whatever he is, I still think that he's the dude that showed up at the end.
Gotcha.
Right? That's where I'm putting my...
Yes.
I put my eggs over there for now.
Yeah.
Until they... I don't think it's Bazil.
I don't think it's
I
bad.
don't think it's him.
Yeah.
I saw people being like, hey, you know who's missing?
Yeah.
The tracker. I'm like, I don't think it's him.
Size matters not.
I suppose, but...
It could be two or three Bazils.
He could be in a suit like we saw in Clone Wars,
Yeah.
right? He's like...
Is there any part of you that's nervous to learn his Darth title?
Well, I don't know if he's a Sith either, you know?
But if he is, like the question is begging. I always have like a nervousness of like new Sith names because I love all the titles we've gotten so far, but they have to have a certain edge of corniness to them. Tyrannus, Sidious, you know, like. So I'm always nervous that it's gonna try to sound too cool.
I think it's time to get another wrestler name like Vader.
Vader, another wrestler name.
You don't want like Darth Maximus.
Yeah.
Before Vader, though.
Right?
Big Van Vader? I think Big Van Vader was wrestling before
Yeah.
Star Wars.
All right, so the first comment is, I think that he's too incompetent to be the Apprentice. Anyone hiding their ability that much is probably the big bad.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Palpatine hid a lot of stuff.
Like Yoda, originally.
Or the Jar Jar Sith theory.
Dude.
That's incompetence.
Dude, that's Jar Jar.
We haven't seen his death yet. Oh, wait.
He's
Gungans
before.
live that long?
Well, he's 30s. Is he 30s? I think. I'm trying to remember how old Jar Jar is in episode 1.
Oh, how old he is?
Yeah, so
7.
They'd have to Kiadi,
No other exam.
They'd have to Kiadi Mundi, and everyone would be mad because now Jar Jar lives a long time.
Let's see. Watching through it a second time, it seems quite likely that Qimir is the master, and it seems like he definitely could have had his helmet/cloak in his bag. He was carrying a bag.
And it was quite bulky.
What if Gungans are like jellyfish and they're immortal?
This person chose neither. Qimir is no Sith. The Sith is obviously Bazil, since he was missing from that scene.
See? See?
They.
Or she or they.
It. I don't know what it is.
Definitely think that they are a Sith of some type. He is the man in the mask, but he's the apprentice to maybe Darth Tenebrous before Darth Plagueis.
Ooh.
Qimir may be killed off, and thus Tenebrous needs a new apprentice. I'm not sure exactly if I'm pronouncing that one correctly.
Yeah.
I've never heard it before.
I don't know how to say that one either.
Yeah.
And I just know it through osmosis.
Is it Legends?
Presently, I believe so.
Yes, I believe so. The Darth Plagueis book, which is a fantastic book, has him as a Bith. So the Cantina guys, he's a Bith Sith.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
He's a Sith bit.
And then we also have this last comment, which is just Darth Bortles. I love Good Place. Just Jason Mendoza is so good in that one, and I've really liked him so far here. But let's see if there's a connection, and let's see if all of those Jedi whose name I don't know.
There were a lot of Jedi we didn't know.
Survive this,
Right?
Yeah. There's a lot.
There was like 3?
They should have been wearing red cloaks. You know what I'm saying? So, let's do it!
What a push.
Yeah.
All right, now to the past.
No, Aaron. And now.
Let's see Osha as a baby.
See it from the Jedi's
I'm gonna
perspective.
be so mad for anywhere but just
In that forest?
jungle fighting.
That's bad guy music.
So we're gonna go into her eye and we're gonna flash back.
We better not pull a Tyrion and we skip the fight.
Oh,
God,
Osha
oh God.
wakes
Please
up
don't
and
do
it's
that.
all
Please don't
over.
do that. Please don't do that.
A hunter exam.
I don't know, it still feels like like everything from the fall. Like the force push.
Gonna see a lot of corpses. There's still a fight.
Oh! Spice! No.
Keep stealing from Dune.
Oh, Wonder ain't dead.
That's a great one show. Whoa, cool.
Ah.
It's like
Yeah.
fingers like scratching on the floor.
Dude, where'd everyone go?
Hell yeah. It's like Eldora. Oh, he looks like Star Killer a little bit, Aaron.
Yeah.
Like the evil one.
You see his arms too?
Yeah. Oh, I love the one-handed style so much. And the pair of arms.
I don't think you finished that whole sentence. Oh, what was that?
Oh, got some Beskar or something?
No, it shorted out the lightsaber. It could be Cortosis.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
it
say,
shorted out.
Cortosis, yeah.
Double Yord. There we go.
Yeah, it's Cortosis. It only goes out for a
Interesting.
second.
I don't think we've ever had Cortosis there.
That fighting is
Oh,
we stacked him up! They did the Sith kebab! Oh no! They did it! Oh, you
Where's Soul?
I don't think.
And, Jecki. What? She actually hit him that time too.
Dude, that fighting was
Maybe
great.
that
I gotta watch
arm.
it over and over and over again.
Alright, you gotta go help Osha. You gotta save Osha.
That's so awesome. That was so much better than Darth Sidious versus 4 Jedi.
Tanaka, where's your saber? Is that it?
The hunkin' saber.
He's got a big hand.
Yeah. I hope it's extra long.
Where'd Soul go?
Soul's the Sith.
You know, he
No,
was
he
there.
Stop being ridiculous.
But it did cross my head, my mind for a second.
No way.
He has Shadow Clone Jutsu.
He's a master.
Oh, saber throw!
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Anakin.
Soul!
There's Soul.
Get back there. Oh, Soul. Ah!
Now we go to the past.
I'm so hyped. That was so awesome. I loved his fighting style so much.
I sense something familiar.
Okay. Oh, nice long shot.
But you are no Jedi.
Diagonal light. Dude, those shots, those long shots were good.
Oh,
There's Jecki.
Jecki.
Jecki, what are you doing? This
Drop
is no
kick.
time. There's a.
I mean,
And that's May. Nice.
Okay.
Ooh, that was great. That was cool. Oh, this camera too.
nice.
Go help Saul.
That was so cool.
The murder of Master Indara. The murder of...
Finish cuffing first, then read the rights.
They're Republic laws, Rick. Oh, I love how this fight has all the environmental work. The music's great too. Oh, look at Soul go, man!
Yeah, man, this whole episode is gonna be fighting. I like the long hold.
Oh my god, I love that. Oh, dude, the jabs.
Yeah, but where's the other guy?
You took Master Kilnaka's saber.
Oh, she has two sabers now. Remember that.
Oh, Jecki.
She felt his presence before he came up. Great. I love his hunched down movement so much.
She's a loyal pupil.
Use the other one.
Pull out Kilnaka's.
Nice.
Now wait
Two
for it to
saber
turn on.
style.
Now they're Oh, this is sweet.
Yeah,
I love
the camera work.
demoting.
Oh, it's so great. He went out of the. Oh. Choreographers in this. Oh, look at that
Dang.
footwork.
Grip was too low.
Kilnaka's blade. And he's gone.
He likes doing that.
Turn off your saber.
Bugs? Or the
Do it.
Or the dude?
The light attracts them.
Attracts what?
You forget.
You were there.
They're in the trees where they're not there anymore.
He has a lot on his mind right now.
He should still listen.
Yeah, but he doesn't like listening to her, you know? It's kind of been established.
Alright.
He's like Joey Cipriani. Like, he gets everything everybody else does. It just takes him a second.
Oh, and Jecki.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Get a little bit of everything.
Which side?
Oh, God!
I like that unrelenting attack of the two Jedi.
He's gonna kill them all.
Turn on the light. Take the moths.
Kite him.
Yeah.
I hate those things.
Follow me.
Are we going to attack a Sith Lord with a bunch of moths?
Yeah.
Yes!
Turn on your saber now. They start following and run quick.
Oh!
His helmet is too.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to punch that.
That's what's
How does
blocking
that
the
work?
Force.
God.
my god. Oh my god, that shot was so great.
Oh, what? No!
That's a super cool
It was
saber,
so
though.
cool.
Oh my god.
But I am upset.
God.
It's Qimir.
Jecki was doing so good.
Oh my god. Oh god. I haven't felt this way in a long time.
She was a child.
Gotta find your balance.
You brought her here.
Dang, man.
Hello.
Dude, his arms.
I have no name. But a Jedi like you might call me Sith.
Oh my god. That's a death sentence you just gave him.
Why risk discovery? Well, I did wear a mask. What do you want? Oh, look at you two. Right back where you started.
Yord! Oh! Dude, using the
Dude,
helmet
great.
to short it out.
They both
Good
sorted
job,
out the
buddy.
sabers.
You. Surprise.
Surprise.
No! Dang, man.
Shao Kahn them.
He really has been killing everybody.
For the first time the show said the word Sith. Ugh.
Really?
on her.
Now?
Damn. Yord's gone, man.
Yeah.
He's soul might not make this. Oh, in the hand.
So we need balance.
Oh, blocked him. Caught him with his neck.
Oh, nice.
It was very good, yeah.
Dude, Soul has a darkness in him.
Oh,
You
jeez.
can read his mind a bit better now.
No, kill him.
Oh, yeah. The mods that we led here.
So,
Seems like you don't need him now.
I love you, Pip.
No, we're gonna lose Pip too. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh!
That Sith Lord's being taken by mods!
Damn.
Why did he say
I
that?
mean, he'll be okay, but you know what I mean.
Why did he say I shouldn't trust you? What did you do?
Please, Osha. I'll explain.
When we get back to the ship.
Damn, that was good. That all happening in the same shot like that. So good. Oh. I'm gonna watch this so much tonight.
Hey, no. You're the violent one. You started that fire. And I would have been dead too if it weren't for the Jedi. They've brainwashed
What
you.
really happened?
Hey, do the flashback now.
I love you. Don't choose them again.
The clues are there. They
Choose me.
actually did kind of lie to her a lot.
Choose us.
Yeah. But about what?
You're a criminal, May. You must pay for your crimes. What are you doing? What I came here to do.
Good fight.
Leave Soul out of this. He stole you from us. He saved my life. And what kind of life is that, huh? He led you nowhere.
And she hit her head on a rock.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
She's gonna pretend to be
She's
May.
never
I was
It's
gonna say,
It's gonna be
she's gonna
tough to
She's
hide her tattoo.
Oh my gosh!
so many dead Umber mobs.
That was cool. Just all her body's falling.
Oh my God, Bazil, get out of here! Not great things are here, man.
Oh, he saved Pip. He saved Pip.
He did say Pip.
Nice.
Because it smells like May or something, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man. Now it's May just. Or Osha just laying in the woods naked.
She's gonna be May.
Let's go.
He's so unbalanced to even be able to notice.
No, leave a man behind, huh? For the Jedi.
Is this like a Minnie's version of
Dejarik?
Dejarik? Yeah.
Maybe.
Like they don't have technology really that well, so it's
that
like.
guy flipped the table.
Or this is how it originally looked, and in the future it gets a little bit more holographic.
Maybe.
May's plan is. What's her goal now?
She's still wanting to
Just
kill him.
escape?
Even if he does tell the truth, he's not going to tell it to Osha.
Oh, he'll know.
Yeah. And she's going to be dressed like May.
Did she really take the time to redress her and leave her unconscious?
She would have had to have marked her.
What extraordinary beings we are.
There's a little bit.
That's that's very sure.
Even in the revelation of our triumph, you see the depth of our despair.
Dang, what?
Oh man.
Man, we had the Jedi we thought we were gonna lose, we lost. And the ones that had names, some of them we also lost too.
Yord and Jecki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jecki won. Jecki did so well.
Dude, yeah, she did great. She had some of the best shots in there, and there were a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
All the fight with May, hand to hand, and then
Yeah.
versus
When they pulled out Talnaka's saber and was using that was
Doubles.
so cool. Yeah.
In terms of a live action lightsaber fight, that's up there with like Duel of the Fates with me. That's how good that was. That was good. There was no weakness in there. Even the 2v1s, with the long shots, like the actors that Jecki and Soul, like they looked occupied the entire time. I never saw any waiting.
The only 2v1 one that was a little weird for me was he was occupied, and then instead of a stab, which would have been possible, they kicked.
Sure, gotcha. Yeah. Whenever it comes to that type of thing, I'm a little forgiving in that I'm thinking that like they're not fighting in the present, they're fighting like 2 moves ahead, and sometimes like they don't know why they're not supposed to stab there yet, just that it's not supposed to happen.
yeah.
That makes
otherwise,
sense.
you get ferocity, and
Yeah.
then it gets chopped in half.
Yes, exactly. If you haven't seen Ferocity, go check that out.
But that was the only thing that
Yeah.
stood out to me.
Yeah, I
Everything
get
else
you.
I thought was really good.
Yeah, no, I just,
You get to the point where it's like that could have been a killing blow, right?
yeah,
I get what you mean.
we've just
there
been,
also could be motivation because I think that was against Soul, and
Yeah.
maybe he didn't want to kill Soul then, or maybe right.
Well,
It was Soul, Jecki, and Qimir, and I think he blocked Jecki high, but could have stabbed Soul possibly.
yeah,
So I think I know what part you're talking about.
yeah.
But maybe he didn't want Soul dead yet. Maybe
Sure.
it's part of his plan too, or something.
yeah,
It's hard because we don't really know motivation fully. Like we kind of have an idea, and we know he's just Sith, or he has no name, but Jedi would call him
Yeah.
Sith. But I don't know.
Like, I think he had the plan that all the Jedi, by the time he left, should be dead.
Yeah.
But he didn't necessarily want to kill Soul yet because
Yeah.
of the reveal, right? And the training.
But
The
Soul
aspect of it
can't
as well.
report that to the Jedi Council, right? That he encountered a Sith?
We'll see.
I don't know. Nothing to say he can't, but
Yeah.
you're going with episode 1 Ki-Adi-Mundi's statement?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not.
At the very least, it
There's,
can't be confirmed. You know?
Sure. I mean,
Like, there can't be
Ki-Adi
no confirmation.
was...
I mean, it's not like the Jedi Council believed Qui-Gon was like, yeah, there's a Dark Warrior that attacked me. I believe he was a Sith. They weren't like, oh, definitely, yeah, bet. You know, they were like, what? No. So, I mean, they could doubt Soul as well.
Even
Sure, I
even
get what you
after
mean.
they revealed, like, Dooku,
But also,
everything, he was still in denial.
Dooku
of
was
there
like, there's a
being-
Darth Lord of the Sith that can control the Senate. And they still couldn't find
Yeah.
him. You know?
yeah, but like Maul didn't come out and say I'm a Sith either.
Neither did he.
What?
Well, he didn't. He just,
He didn't. He
said
the
that you
Jedi
would call me
would
Sith.
call him a Sith.
yeah, sure.
He says that he has no name.
Yeah,
Right?
That is true.
Is there a difference there?
There's a distinction.
I feel like there's a difference there.
I
He's-
think because
if-
the
if he's
Jedi
like-
would probably overgeneralize that. If he is a Force user who is not a Jedi.
They may classify him as Sith. I don't know. I think there's some wiggle room, but it depends. Like, it depends on evil, right? Is a statement where it's like, did he call himself evil, or did he say you would call me evil? You know, like, I don't know. It depends
Like
on,
if a dude said like, you would call me a Nazi.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're probably a Nazi.
I'm 100% in the
I get
camp
what you
that he declared himself Sith there.
all right.
In many ways.
I will wait to see what happens. with
Yeah.
it.
No, I'm
I
excited
get
for the
you.
future.
But
I'm
I
too-
loved his saber. Oh,
Dude, when he pulled it apart, I wasn't expecting. I wasn't
was,
expecting a single blade to pull
And
apart.
that's
That was
when
a
that's when
D'Artagnan
you show it.
thing.
You don't show it so that now I have an understanding of it later. Like you show it in the moment because it's deception.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a Sith way of doing things.
Yeah, that's when he got Jecki.
Yeah.
when you called his metal Cortosis?
Potentially. I mean, we don't know for sure what it is, but
It acts like Cortosis.
I'm only putting it down to Cortosis as opposed to something like Beskar because it shocked the lightsabers for a little bit.
Does
Yeah.
Cortosis also block the Force? Because he seemed to imply that it was kind of like Magneto's helmet, where it
let you detect my thoughts.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, I wouldn't say so, or at least that hasn't been
Established.
The case. Yeah. In terms of lightsaber resistant metals, we have a couple. We have Beskar, which just kind of does it on its own. We have Ferric, which is the metal the Magna Guard staffs are made out of.
Okay.
And you have to have an electrical charge to go through them, and then they can block lightsabers. And then you have Cortosis, which are generally lightsaber resistant, and sometimes in Legends they would short out a lightsaber. But sometimes they were just like Knights of the Republic video game had Cortosis weave vibro swords, so that like regular people could fight Jedi in that game, you know. So yeah, it's been a long part of the mythos, but in terms of canon, like I think this would be.
I
like
don't think we've ever had Cortosis.
Yeah.
Comics maybe, but I don't
Yeah.
know what's in comics.
is it an element or an alloy, or do we know?
it's an alloy, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's an alloy.
I believe it's an alloy. It's heavily
what it
featured
uses.
in Jedi Outcast, the video game, because the Shadow Troopers in that they use crystals to like give these like Nazi use force ability, and then they use Cortosis to from head to foot armor. So, fun game. But he had it on his helmet, and it looked like one bracer because the other arm was bare. I think.
Yeah. His
I
saber
loved-
arm was bare.
Oh man, I
That's like-
loved the long robe, bare arm look with the helmet. It made such a striking silhouette in that fight, and I think that's one of the most important parts of fight choreography.
When he lost the helmet, it made me think of
for me.
Shang Tsung a
Shang
lot,
Tsung, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
especially with the jacked arms.
yeah, dude, he did such a good job. Manny Jacinto is his name. I literally needed to look it up so I can put some respect on it. Because, yeah, I mean, when the helmet's on, you can have anybody that has his build doing those moves, and somebody that was doing it did amazingly. But there were times where, no, I can see him. He has really good saber control. It looks so natural in his hands, and those were the shots that was his face, you know?
There's not enough thrusting in lightsaber fights, so I was excited to see that.
Yeah, that was
It was
awesome.
definitely it felt like a different kind of weapon that they were using.
Yeah. Jecki's choreography was so Ahsoka. With the two blades, like so many circles, like going back and shifting her shoulders and making these two concentric circle moves. That was awesome. The footwork was great. The shots were the perfect length for me. Like sometimes when I'm watching stuff, I'm like, all right, you should have cut by now, or I'm like, yeah, you cut too quick. But
Sure.
here I was just.
There was one or two shots I could have had a little bit longer, but
I wish we
was
hadn't
for
have
me.
cut away from the fight so much because it felt like it lost a little bit of the.
I understand.
Following
That,
like Yord and
Yeah.
stuff, or
that is a Star Wars trope, right? You
Yeah.
have the lightsaber fight happening here, the space battle happening here, and and then something else over here. But I get you. When I watch like lightsaber fight compilations, all those are edited out.
Yeah, because you want the music to kind of mix in with the fight, and that's tough if you're coming out of it and coming back into it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're switching tracks on a CD player or something. Like you kind of lose the rhythm of the song.
What's that?
MP3 player?
No, I definitely I get that criticism. I guess for me that's like Star Wars specific, so it doesn't. I guess it didn't bug me as much. But on the music thing, like the music was taking a backseat to me just because I was so engrossed with the visual.
Sure.
I gotta listen to that music.
like one of the things that makes like Princess Bride fight so good was that you're just there for the
Yeah,
whole fight,
it's just
right?
there.
You're not
Yeah.
cutting away and seeing where like the princess is going and then coming
Yeah.
back and seeing how the fight's going or any of that. So,
Sure.
so I get what you mean with that.
Yeah.
I would have.
Like-
I feel the same way with like watching Darth Maul fight Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn it, I don't want to see the space fight right now. I want
Yeah.
to stay here and
Yeah.
see more of this. You know,
Sure.
like I get you there.
I mean, I feel the same way. Helm's Deep's one of the greatest battle sequences of all time, but we cut away.
Yeah.
We go and see Merry and Pippin and talk to trees for a long time. But man, dude, I'm so happy. I haven't felt. I think that's my favorite lightsaber fight in a long time. Recency bias. I'm trying to keep it in my head.
Sure, I need to watch it a few times.
Yeah,
but
I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was cool to see, like, one, it was like a Sith fighting multiple people
Yeah.
with one blade. Which,
Yeah.
Well, it's also like we got so many styles because we had so many Jedi, we had so many like orientations of number of sabers.
Sure, yeah.
Soul style was so cool.
Ah, the shish kebab.
The Sith kebab. That was the exact move we came up for a fight we never did.
Yep.
But we had two variations. We had exactly that one, and we had another one where like a spear-like weapon was put into two Jedi, and then two beheading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the Sith kebab.
Sith kebab.
But there was for me it was that there was a lot of like gags, a lot of like quick,
A lot of high
movements,
spots.
a lot of high spots, quick movements that you had to understand quickly. But the show had given you the information. When Yord comes in with the helmet, you know what he's doing. He is doing the dodgeball technique of using a dodgeball to block the other dodgeballs.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. And you have to impart that stuff quickly, but not like over your head, and it's got to like happen to you as the edit happens.
Yeah, it's like we see Jecki get the other saber.
Yeah.
So like it's established, she has it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I assume the stun blast that didn't work was because of the helmet. I'm assuming.
Sure.
Because we get introduced that the
Or
helmet
willpower.
also has like that deflecting ability. So
Yeah.
is that why whenever? Because like that shot was like right on him, but then it went. Tsh,
Yeah.
and I was like, what happened?
That's very possible. I mean, he did evoke some type of resistance to something with the helmet, at least mentally, so maybe physically as well.
Yeah.
but-
Well, and then we saw it with the saber too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm assuming that's
yeah.
the same.
Why would Cortosis not be able to handle something like that?
a
Right?
stun blast,
Yeah.
which should be weaker to not kill.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I always thought Stormtroopers should use stun blast all the time because they suck at shooting.
Because they're a bigger
wider.
circle.
I imagine they just come in, just spray around, and then once everybody's down on the ground, they'd be so scary.
It's
maybe
pretty dark.
Maybe
But,
we
like-
shouldn't give them that idea
Yeah,
because
like-
they'd be unstoppable.
If you imagine stormtroopers as like living, feeling humans,
Yeah.
it's a lot different of
Yeah.
shooting someone who's shooting at you
Yeah.
versus shooting someone who's laying unconscious on the ground.
I always felt like
sure.
stun blasts would shoot slower than like
Yeah.
stun bolts did.
I would imagine so.
But I think the only instance I can think of multiple stun blasts being shot was Osha and May, which I don't know. Maybe you could have shot stun bolts faster than you could have the two. The stun slower than
Yeah.
the two blast bolts.
They were pretty. They were relatively. I mean, not as fast as a regular bolt, but in the when Ahsoka's escaping on Coruscant, like there's a lot of stun stuff going on there,
Sure.
and it's kind of quick. But I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, and also, he didn't put his hand up, but like Vader can block laser shots.
Yes.
He did block one,
Can
yeah,
you
and-
block stun shots too?
I would imagine. Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, it's just energy dissipation
Yeah.
at that point.
Kylo held one in midair.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren's theme played twice in this. The first one was literally, I mean, Kylo has 2 themes in The Force Awakens specifically. That's one of them. And they played it twice.
Do you think they just don't have the budget for new compositions?
No. No, I do not think that. It feels like it's targeted. Because, I mean, you know, sometimes stuff sounds, you know, the Obi-Wan theme that John Williams came up with sounds like the Spider-Man theme, you know? So, you know, Isengard kind of sounds like Terminator 2, you know?
Those are different franchises.
They are, but, I mean, to be fair, you can go to Episode 1 when the Theed Naboo Starcraft is landing on Tatooine. That kind of sounds a little tiny bit like Kylo Ren's theme. It's not exact, but you can hear the melody in there. This one felt, and now the Kylo Ren theme to me, so I don't know.
I didn't hear the first time. The second time I heard like the bum bum, but it didn't. It was different notes, wasn't it?
No, it was the same notes.
Was it the same notes?
Yeah, he has 2 themes.
I thought it was the same like. I thought it was like octave change was different.
I don't think so. I don't even know what that could mean. Like, let's say it's a coincidence. It could just be a coincidence, and I'm just reading into it. But if it's not, does it imply that the Knights of Ren have some type of Sith origin, maybe? Maybe in wanting to have acolytes or students, he creates a splinter group? I don't know. We still don't have any answer on.
It's because he wears a mask.
He wears a mask. Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea.
We still don't have any answer on if he's the master or the apprentice.
Sure.
I mean, maybe
he's looking for an apprentice, a disciple.
But often Sith apprentices will do that before they kill their master.
Before they,
I assume that
power.
Shoot.
I mean, it's why Palpatine told Dooku, like, kill Ventress. Like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah. I assume by this point, like, it would have been before this, whenever Bane did his thing, which we know he's canon because of the Yoda Clone Wars episode. So I assume that if that's the case, we are in the 2 segment where there's the rule of 2, but they've just kind of been in hiding.
Yes.
He also says, like, you Jedi are the ones with the rules, right?
Yeah, whenever he said that, it's like, rules. I was like, who wrote the rules? I wanted to be like, Darth Bane. But, I mean, he made some points. Like, you would attack a child or something like that. And he's like, you brought her. Which is, I mean, that's, when we watched Ahsoka this year, like, that's one thing I was thinking, like, she looks so young, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you're bringing kids onto this battlefield. And
no, that's one of the things I like that this show's doing, because, like, the idea of, like, well, the things the Jedi do, everyone looks at them as highly, right? But there's definitely, like, there's things they do they shouldn't do, and I think one of them here is, like, you just killed a child. It's like, you brought her here. You knew the dangers. Why'd you bring a child here?
Sure.
I would have brought her, too. She kicked ass.
She did.
Yeah. I want to say that, you know, the mystery of Qimir, like, the reveal, like, I thought it was played well here. Like, obviously, it's something that, when it first showed up, like, a certain group of people are going to be suspicious and try to guess and theory craft and stuff. But there's a part of me that kind of likes that it was obvious, because when I watched the prequels, like, I always knew that was Palpatine, you know? Sure. But I still enjoyed the reveal, you know? And I almost kind of had that here as well.
It's better to be obvious than make no sense.
Well, and there's also the idea that, you know, as fun as it is for us watching this show at the age that we were in, like, young kids also need to understand this.
I was going to say,
you know?
The reason why they didn't ever call Ian McDiarmid the Emperor when they were filming is because they still wanted that surprise. For anyone who didn't know, they wanted to
Lucas and Ian McDiarmid never said it on any marketing, nothing.
Yeah.
He's just
and like
supreme chancellor.
I'm making this for kids, not for you.
Yeah. You're going to have some people where it's like, clearly it's him.
Yeah.
Look, you see the chin? You know, like you're going to have those kind of moments. But then other people are going to be like, man, I wonder who it is.
Sure. And we can be like, well, look at his build. He seems like he's a little more slight, but then his arms come out and they're sculpted. Damn.
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the character of Qimir that he's playing.
Yeah.
Like, if that is his real name and that's not just
but he has no name,
someone,
right?
but he's usually more like a diminutive stance.
Yeah. But even in his fighting style, he's not, I wouldn't call it diminutive, but he's very cat-like. He's very, like, low. Like, he'll sloop his shoulder under strikes. It's so cool. Yeah. Usually we have Sith and they're tall and imposing. You know, Vader's tall and imposing. Malgus is tall and imposing. They look down.
Dooku's tall and imposing.
Yeah, exactly. But Qimir was more Palpatine. Palpatine goes where... I love how they described that, like, he gets in your head and, like, you can't guess his movements, you know? Jedi are, like, that's what they do. they intuitively let the Force place their lightsabers where it needs to be able to enact its will. When you come against an amazing Sith fighter, it's so hard to do that, because you can't read them.
They can also disrupt the Force. So
they're getting into people's head. Like Osha said, my mother did that.
Yes.
So do you think Qimir is related to that sect at all?
Maybe.
I mean, we've seen where Sith have taken principles and techniques from other schools of Force users.
We have,
or the other way around. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I'm very interested.
But he seemed to know what went down there, and we didn't see him then.
At least we don't think we did.
I mean, May might know.
Maybe.
And May could have told him.
I wish May, if May had other things, would have said something to Osha then, whenever they were talking about it. It was like, you lit the fire. And if for some reason she didn't. I was like, and there's wiggle room there. I wish there would have been more of a conversation.
Yeah, well, the way
she
that
said, they brainwashed you, but she didn't say, this is actually what happened.
Yeah.
But it also
search your feelings.
Her actions after that seems like her goal was not to convince her sister. Mm-hmm. Her goal was to become her sister.
Oh, so how she flips again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have last episode where she's like, "I'm going to go with my sister. I'll turn myself in. I'm gonna do all this." I think you could still have that where she's wanting to, but then the betrayal from the sister kind of thing. She feels like she's not going to listen. My sister's not here. Well, then what am I doing? And there could also be the fear of the Sith guy.
Yeah, and I think regardless of her affiliation with the Sith, she still wants revenge on Sol. He's the last of those 4 Jedi, right?
Well, last episode she did say I'm going to turn myself in and do this. And
But also Sol was unconscious on the ground. If it was just revenge, she could have just killed him there.
Well, do you think that what has changed? Is it just a matter of I want him dead, or is there a matter of this guy is responsible for brainwashing my twin sister into this
maybe
stuff? I need to go and get evidence, something. I don't know.
Maybe the Jedi have evidence as to what happened there.
If I go with Sol, maybe I can find the evidence to prove to Osha, here's what he's been lying to you about.
Mm-hmm.
But if she wouldn't have shot him, he said, May or Osha, let me tell you.
But also,
everything happened, or
why would she assume that Qimir wouldn't hurt Osha?
I don't know. Do you think that
she might have assumed that Qimir was just going to leave?
And Qimir, the Sith are not. It's we use the word evil, but they don't see themselves that way. He could legitimately be thinking he's helping these people, and yet he wouldn't kill them. He'll kill Jedi.
I mean, he sees Jedi as an oppressor.
He could have killed Osha in the beginning and didn't.
Yeah.
He threw her and then attacked the Jedi.
And he ignited his saber to the side of her, not through her.
Yeah.
So maybe he might have killed May because of the betrayal. He probably would kill the Jedi because the Jedi, but maybe there's something there with Osha that he could also use as this could be my apprentice instead.
Maybe.
That's why she's not worried about it.
Did May also see that at the beginning?
She was looking out whenever he was he's here, right? So she saw the beginning of the fight. So maybe, yeah. But I don't know, why she was Sol? Because if she wanted to kill him, when he turned around, she could have probably just stabbed him back, Yeah. Possibly. But she didn't. So I think she may be looking for something or trying to get some kind of information or something like that. So there could be more than just I'm going to go kill him. What, you got to wait till you get to Coruscant and then kill him? That's not a good plan if her goal is to kill him. So she must be after something else.
Sure.
She needs to be wearing a bandana or something. I feel it's too risky for your hair to part and him to see that you don't have the giant tattoo.
Or that you do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Recently on a Badonkagong, we read a book that was talking about how Padme is talking about how Qui-Gon knew that she was the imposter queen the entire movie, pretty much, right? And I remember reading that and being I didn't know that. I thought he was tricked just and Aaron's I always thought the other way. So it kind of revealed to me a thing where I'm that's interesting. I can't watch the movie the same anymore. No, I can watch it a little bit.
Because I love the idea of Qui-Gon looking at her and Yeah. The queen wouldn't approve of this. It's like, she doesn't have to know.
Queen doesn't need to know, does she?
But he's like,
yeah.
But she's not here.
What do you guys say? You know? Yeah, I love that.
I don't approve.
Yeah,
so,
she's kind of...
So maybe I'm just more on the lookout for that. But do you think Sol knows that she switched?
Well, if he knows, he wouldn't have left Osha there, right?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Probably not.
The only reason I said it, and it sounds weird, but when she was like, "Who?" and he goes, "Your sister." He never says your sister. He always says like a May or Osha. But it's not that much of a stretch that he would say your sister there.
I get what
it's just it applies to both of them. Is what I was saying.
Yeah.
But unless being a twin messes with the Force, like if you also look the same in the Force.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like
thermal imaging or something.
Well, yeah, for like lack of a better term, like they.
I would smell burned hair though.
But they don't, because Bazil's there.
Basil did seem suspicious.
He's like smelling the pip. Hey.
That's different.
Yeah, right? Something here's a little strange.
Yeah.
And dang it, we don't have Yord. So Yord can't talk to Bazil.
Yord and Jecki. Jecki's death was so. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yord's death
spoke
was
the language.
Sorry.
Yeah, he was making a point.
I know. I'm sorry.
I ignored everything he just said.
I'm so overwhelmed. That's how much I loved it. I'm allowed to be overwhelmed.
Yeah, then be quiet and overwhelmed over there.
Okay, I'll sit here and do nothing. Calvin, what's your point?
No,
Yord was
Sol can't understand Bazil.
Yeah, Yord was specifying that he took another language than what everyone else took. Right? I think everyone else took Shuri.
Everyone took Shuri.
Yeah. He took something else. Like
all the other Padawans
took
Shuri.
the Badger elective,
Yeah. So, like, can Sol understand Bazil? Is that what you're saying? Is he going to be like making noises? And
maybe Sol can understand Pip, and Pip can understand Bazil.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe luckily that because Pip is there. I don't know.
I get what you mean, though. Yeah, I don't know. Can Bazil communicate to Sol? I don't know.
Is there like
I don't know if Pip has any restrictions being disconnected from like the rest of his tool body. You know what I mean?
I don't know, a standard Republic sign language or something?
I mean, I don't know how standard it can be. Not everybody has hands.
But they're in the Republic.
He's got a point. No.
It doesn't have to be with,
You're right.
with hands.
Like, can a Doug do it with his feet the same way that a human could?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Max Rebo.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know why I go to Max. He's a funny body.
Well, he has to stop walking to talk.
But sorry, I didn't mean to go over your point.
No,
but
that's fine.
Specifically, Yord's death. It was so violent.
Yeah.
In a way that was very grounded and real. I mean, generally, it's like, I'm going to burn your heart with a lightsaber, or I'm going to use the Force to crush your neck. But
it was different than, like, Jecki.
Yeah.
Right?
Jecki's was pretty violent, too.
And then, like...
It was.
They fall.
Yeah.
But his was...
But this one was, like, this one was visceral. Like, Jecki's is surprising, but it's like a technique. This one was, like, just...
Well, barehanded is always going to be a certain level of violence.
We just
haven't
really had a kill like that.
Just stabbing someone in the chest like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Like
John Wick.
It's, you know what? Whenever Gimli gets the warg on top of him in 2 towers, and then the orc comes out and he just grabs it and twists his neck,
and then he lands on it.
I've always just felt like, oh my god, it's just I don't consider that to be fantasy violence,
Sure.
So it always like hits me, but it hits me in a good way where I'm.
He had his axe embedded in that guy's nervous system.
He did.
How is that not so violent?
Yeah, no, it is.
Towards the beginning, whenever Sol and Qimir first meet, like he had a line that was like, "You don't remember me," and he's like talking about like sensing something familiar. But I wonder where that's.
It must have been.
I would guess it's from the interrogation, from his shop.
You think it's from that time?
I think so.
Well, I assume he was on the planet with the witches.
You think it's from that part?
Like he must have.
Maybe.
I think so.
He must know that truth.
Because he could have been
and
the
he must
one.
have gotten May somehow.
He could have been the one who started that. But
he
also,
could have just been on that planet, not with the witches. Like there were only women in that.
So like the Jedi go there sensing a darkness, and then
maybe
they attack
it's
the
actually
witches
him
instead of him.
But also, how old would he have been then?
Well, I think he's older than May and Osha.
But he's younger than Sol.
Younger than Sol, sure. So Sol was.
And that was
what, 16 years ago?
I want to say it was 16 years ago.
You could also just say the Sith were involved.
Like,
you know,
if he's...
Maybe not specifically him.
If he's, like, mid to late 20s, like he appears to be...
Yeah.
Well, how
like,
old
he would be...
How old are the girls?
I'd put them...
They're like
Because they were probably
18.
like 8 then, right?
Yeah.
So if you had 6... Let's say they were 6 years old. You had 16 years, that's 24, right?
Sure,
Yeah,
yeah. I'd put them early 20s. I'd probably put the Sith in his 30s.
Yeah.
I would say.
Probably.
30 to, like, 33.
28 to 34. So
Like
34, yeah,
Darth Maulish.
sure. But even still, like...
The actor's 38.
Okay. If he were living on the planet, not in the sister convent thing, like Aaron said, like he could have been the darkness that they sensed there, and why they stationed 4 Jedi there to keep an eye on things, and he was shrouded.
He started the fire.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Possibly.
I'm pretty sure those 4 Jedi. I think at one point they said like they were the ones stationed at the outpost there. Like Brent, you know, in this time period, Jedi have temples all over the place, like outposts and marshals and all that thing.
Oh, that makes so much sense with the poison.
Yeah,
Like he got that for her,
Because he was familiar with
Because
the
he
planet.
was familiar with
he
the
was
planet.
there before and stuff.
and that's why May would always go out to that tree. Maybe they were hanging out, and he was like influencing her with his
I mean,
more
he was-
dark
there's
ways.
a lot-
rather
Was
than-
the tree?
Well,
yeah. I mean,
maybe he could have been hiding in the tree.
he could literally be trying to create a powerful apprentice.
Yeah,
just
maybe.
like Sidious takes advantage of later. You know?
Or like, hey, you know, all these rules and stuff your order has, they're kind of dumb. We should just use our powers the way we want to,
yeah, freedom.
not the way they do.
Yeah, I mean, he exemplified the Sith Code. You know, there were... One of my favorite things about the Old Republic, the MMO that we've played before, and you played a lot more than me, is that, like, if you want to, you can play a light side Sith.
You can, yeah. You can also play a Dark Jedi.
And you can play a Dark Jedi.
It's pretty neat the way you can go either way with that.
Yeah. I love Soul's delivery. He's mind. He's twisted by darkness. He's so good.
What have you done with
Yeah, like he's a real Qui-Gon figure for me.
Yeah.
And there is a darkness in him. In that final fight, that was very it had elements of Luke in Return of the Jedi when he's really fighting to kill Vader after the mention of Leia. Like that's what it had, right? And to the point where Jecki's like, or not Jecki, Osha is like, hey,
So
what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's not you. And that goes back to what kind of master hides his face from his pupil. And he says, you tell me. Oh, it's good stuff.
I know. So like, that's why I'm wondering like where he is in
Yeah.
the past because he knows more. And I don't know if it's like a prodding of May's mind or if it's like he just was there or knows for whatever reason.
Yep.
He does seem like he has more information than what May would have if they had talked afterward.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a connection to those because like he talked about how like the Sith, if they know that this guy exists, they will hunt him down. So he has to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if there's a small connection where like they know, but they don't know that they know.
Yeah.
And if they ever realize the truth,
Yeah.
like that's why he's like, you go kill all them.
Yeah.
I also love. It's like, why reveal yourself? He's like, I wore a mask.
I do love that.
Yeah. There's a certain amount of genius to this casting because he has that. He can play the comedy if you need to, and there's a certain softness I feel to his performance, like a certain regret in his voice.
Hey, it's much different from The Good Place.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean,
great.
I don't know. Like, there's something that's. I wouldn't have thought of that in terms of like okay, create a Sith, and I'm really happy with this right now. Though, again, I just want to learn so much, and I'm chasing that feeling. I want to learn so much right now.
Also, I mean, the reveal of it, I like the reveal timing here.
Yeah.
Like when they do it with the helmet and everything and Jecki falling. But, like, it wasn't until, like, he shows up and I'm like, well, Qimir's kind of somewhere that I was like, I bet it's him. Yeah. Like, before I was kind of like, well, that was kind of weird, wasn't it? And, like, there was a little bit whenever May came at him and, like, he kind of responded and dodged her attacks real quick. I'm like, well, that was pretty good. What was that about? There's something about him that's different or more than what he's putting on. And then it was that moment I was like, I bet it's him.
Sure.
So, I feel like they gave me enough, but it wasn't until there where I'm like, well, it's him or Bazil.
Yeah.
Pick one.
There's no one else on this entire
else is
planet.
You know? It wasn't that guy they talked to about getting directions, you know?
It wasn't those two guys playing whatever that game was.
Or it's someone we have no idea who they are, in which case it's like, well, then that's just...
Yeah,
it's just someone.
You
know?
wouldn't have divined that anyway.
Yeah.
I think I would have enjoyed this slightly more, and I almost never do this, if I had watched last episode and this episode back to back. Because I still had that feeling last time. I was like, oh, Kalneka's dead.
Yeah.
I won't get the action I want. And then this happens,
like,
you know? Like, if that happened and then you watch that immediately, I feel like that just
I haven't
spices the
seen the whole thing, but from what I've seen so far, I think this would have been a better movie than a TV show.
Maybe, yeah. I think that's something I'd have to confront towards the end. Yeah, I agree.
Sure, depending on how dense it becomes.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes that happens. You know, like in terms of like the pace with television shows. So I get that, but
I can say that from what I've seen so far, it would have been a good movie as well.
Well, it would have been fundamentally different. Movies and television shows like paced differently.
Would you have the same? Would you have a lesser feeling of the movie idea if it was like the Netflix, here's all of it at once, just watch it as you want?
No, I think just like movies have a different pace, and I think this story would have worked better in a movie pacing.
Okay.
Yeah, that would probably be something that we can talk about towards the end for me, just because I
it's hard to know until I see the whole thing.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think live action Star Wars just works better as movies.
Sure.
A lot of times.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've loved every Star Wars movie that I've watched because, I mean, that's why I go. I go to have a good time, but I haven't felt that way about lightsaber fight since I was...
It did not disappoint.
16.
I'm hoping we have as good of with the Dave movie that's going to have, like, Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And,
there were elements of Ahsoka that I liked. I mean, obviously Anakin being in there really helps, but in terms of, like, actual... lightsaber combat on combat, like fighter v fighter, like this one takes it for me. I have a similar feeling that when I watch the Old Republic cinematics, you know, like sometimes those ones would scratch that itch, but this one there was no.
This felt like a live action Old Republic trailer kind of moment, like when you have Malgus fighting on Alderaan in the forest, right? Like that kind of moment. And then the Jedi jumps over the log and comes and helps. Like, that's kind of like Jecki jumping over the rock. And
Satele Shan comes out.
Yeah, Satele showed up. Yeah, that's what it was. Like, that kind of moment, like, that's what this kind of feels like. And then, like, the mixture of, like, what was it? Deception or Deceived or whatever it was, where there's, like, just a lot of Jedi, but there's also a lot of Sith. So you have, like, a lot of, like, action just with, like, multiple, like, 2-on-1s and different combinations of things. Yeah. Like, it's just...
You know, we recently made a video on the channel here about like the things we hate most about Star Wars, and one of mine was Darth Sidious versus the 4 Jedi that are meant to come and arrest him in Episode 3. I think that's one of the worst lightsaber fights I've ever seen. This one did that better in every way. In one way, the other one was better. There's not one. This one did it in every way.
He didn't do a jump spiral spin thing.
He could have. Good. Little Sith tornado.
Yeah.
He did a Sith kebab. It was okay.
Sith kebab.
Psycho Crusher.
I do like that. All right.
I love this feeling.
Yeah, I need to just watch it.
I'm going to chase it for a little bit.
That dragon.
Yeah, I'm going to chase that dragon. I'm very happy. I just want to go lightsaber fight.
I'm done so long.
Yeah. If you're new to the channel, you don't know the history, like, we used to do lightsaber fight videos all the time. We entered a contest that would happen every year. We ended up winning that contest twice. Both Aaron and I have done judging for that contest.
International contest.
Not
just here in Marietta. Where
made some dear friends while doing it, you know. And it's responsible for Blind Wave, because we don't do that unless... I'm like, I want a camera so we can do lightsabers. I need a computer so I can do lightsaber effects. And I need After Effects. And that's how I learned to start doing anything. So yeah, I understand that, you know, Star Wars television, especially in today's age, like, it hits people differently. This one hit me square where it needed to, which was just like, I don't know, like right in my Star Wars soul is lightsaber fighting.
Star Wars soul, yeah.
And I saw one of the best in this episode, so... Yeah.
I liked it better than I think any of the sequel fights that we had.
Yeah.
You know, like it just hit a lot of key points.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like you said, I didn't feel like it showed me a lot of people waiting. I didn't feel like moves were either cut away, and I'm like, well, I don't know what's happening.
I felt like
I was usually kind of understanding the moment. I need to watch it a few more times just to make sure, because I think Last Jedi, like the throne room fight,
Praetorian Guard fight.
yeah, that part there. Like my first time watching that, I'm like, man, this is really good.
Yeah.
And I still like the moves and stuff that they have, but you do get a lot more kind of like these guys are kind of waiting a little bit. But
you do.
You see it more. I saw that more later watching on repeats than I did the first time. So
Yeah.
I want to watch this a few more times too, just to kind of see like what moments. But in the moment of watching, I'm like, this is just fun.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
And I mean, we do have to grant that, like, when someone's wearing Darth Vader's outfit, we want to make him look as cool as possible. That dude cannot see. Whoever's in there can't see.
I think it's the same reason of why, like, oh man, Kanaka died. Like, imagine having to be in a Wookiee outfit and also doing lightsaber fights. Like, it's gonna be hard.
I just did it with the turtles.
They did.
Yeah, but they weren't doing lightsaber fights, and most of them did not fight with their weapons for a lot of it. You know, like they just did.
Yeah, but that's an age thing.
I just wanted to say that age thing.
Otherwise, Rick, nowadays we might end up with more of like the Michael Bay turtles fighting. And that's the Wookiee. It's like now it's just a CGI Wookiee fighting, and it's like, man, I really wanted to see a Wookiee fight. You know,
it's not shot well, and like there's slow mo and stuff. But kangaroos did it in Warriors of Virtue.
You just said it's not.
Aaron,
no one looks at that as being like that's a good movie.
The fighting was fine. It's everything around the fighting that was phenomenal.
The problem. I just wanted to give a special shout out to the actor or actors that pulled off the fighting in that helmet. It couldn't have been easy, and it looked flawless. Like there was never a time where I was like, oh, he probably can't see very well in that. It just.
Yeah. No.
I was so invested.
Really good.
Yeah. All right.
And he has to do really well to be able to like. I feel like that's the battery, you know what I mean, of the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Like if he's not doing well, everyone else is slower and waiting.
Yeah.
So like he has to be moving faster.
Yeah, he's the conductor.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He draws your eye in every shot. Like to the point where, like I say, I have to watch it over and over again because I have to force myself. No, look at these moves, not him, because he will draw your eye. Darth Maul draws your eye. You have to start looking at Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan to appreciate what they're doing because he will take your attention and bring it in.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that with one saber against dual blades, you know? Dual blades generally draw your eye.
Well, he's got one saber and a shield.
And yeah, he's got the Cortosis shield effect.
But he doesn't rely on it.
Yeah.
No, he really only used it a couple times.
Yeah.
Like he didn't it wasn't like it was constantly.
No, I mean, we saw arguably one of the best saber fighters on screen so far. You know, like I'd put him pretty high. And that's doubly exciting to think that he might just be the Apprentice too.
Yeah, he's not dead.
And
so we might get more.
And we might get more.
Yeah,
and Soul's alive. I thought Soul was gonna die.
I'm curious on how this will link in with a lot of the Sith going forward and stuff too. Like how does this connect into Palpatine? Because we have to get there at some point.
Yeah.
If the rule of two is going on, then this must connect to that if he's like one of the Sith. But if he's like maybe he was an apprentice who left his master. So it's like, well, I'm not really a Sith, so I don't really have a name. But you would call me a Sith because that's where I am, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe the real Sith is hidden away if it's Tenebrous or...
So you think he's more like a Ventress?
I don't know. It's possible. So I'm just curious to see, like, do we get that connection to the line that we know has to happen? Or do we kind of stay away from that more?
The only reason I want to say...
Is this a young Plagueis, you know? Is that a possibility?
If we
Is
change
it a young
his...
Palpatine?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm open to a lot of things. I don't know if I'm open to that necessarily.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just wonder what the connection will be, or if we even.
The one thing I'll say is, like, I feel like we've confirmed that he is a Sith. I feel like only Sith can give Jedi Masters that amount of trouble. Like Ventress, when she goes up against Yoda, Yoda's like, strong you are. We're not that strong. He just takes her lightsabers, you know?
Sure.
You can't do that to a Sith Lord, you know?
Yeah.
Soul couldn't do that. He had to bring up darkness in himself to even match that ferocity, you know?
Yeah. And he couldn't handle him on his own.
He couldn't. Yeah. Quite pleased. We need a poll.
Guys, poll for this week. May has taken the persona of Osha and joined Soul on the ship. Why has she done so?
A little Padme Sabe action.
It could be the idea that she needs to kill Soul, especially if he's unarmed. That completes what the Master wants. Maybe that's what her goal is. Perhaps she's after information or some kind of evidence to prove to Osha, here's what happened, you've been brainwashed, don't do this. Or maybe it's something else that we're not thinking about, and maybe you're like, hey, you know what? It's probably this one.
Yeah, she wants a new life. She'll just take her sisters.
Yeah, right? You know what? I'm going to hide from my old master here. So that's going to be our poll, and we want to know what your thoughts are, and make sure you leave comments so we can see what kind of ideas you guys are having with this. I think she's after information.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Because I think it's very dangerous if she didn't kill him yet, and then, like, I'm assuming they're going to go back to Coruscant.
Yeah.
I ain't going to do it there.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
although that would be a deep stab at the heart of the Jedi, killing a Jedi Master on Coruscant.
I suppose, yeah, that's true. But I'm not doing it.
No. That would not be my first choice.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think she's after information, I think.
I agree. Evidence.
Evidence?
To be able to prove to Osha that they brainwashed you.
Gotcha. Okay.
To be able to, like, redeem her sister in a way.
I do like Callan's idea, though, of, like, what would the Master like the most? I'm going to kill an unarmed Jedi in the Jedi temple.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like getting your assassin's license.
Yeah. And then he'll forgive me for my betrayal. You know? Like, that's not a bad idea either.
Or she makes a fire and burns down the whole Jedi temple. Kills them all.
There's the something else.
What option gives us another lightsaber fight? That one. That option.
Your own.
That option that gives us more lightsaber fights. That's all I care about. Bye.
Guys, thanks so much for watching The Acolyte with us. We will be back next week with more as we have to rewatch some more lightsaber fights this week. Don't forget, we're going to be having Badonkagonk coming up here in a few weeks here on the channel, where we're going to be talking about another High Republic book, and Eric and I are going to be discussing more on The Acolyte at its conclusion.